Hey everyone, it's Shauna the Tax Goddess, and today I am joined by one of my favorite super smart people, the lovely Miss Tanushree. Tanushree, tell us who you are.
Yeah, hi. I'm Tanushree, working with Tax Goddess. I'm the senior tax preparer there, now stepping into tax planning as well. So, yes, that's me. So, what are we going to talk today? Let's talk on ERC quarter four. It is actually this quarter four ERC is getting ineligible for lots of clients. So, maybe lots
Wait,
of people would like to.
did you just say ineligible? What happened? I thought we were, as a country, I thought we were allowed to have the ERC for all 4 quarters of 2021. What happened?
There are some changes in the laws and the benchmarks and everything. So most of the clients, they may be ineligible, some may be eligible, or some may squeeze into those crammed laws changes and make their way to be eligible. So let's
Okay.
go over. Yeah, maybe the clients who wants to be eligible would be very, very glued in, possibly.
Well, I have an odd feeling everybody wants to be eligible. Okay, but you're saying that these new laws basically are now saying some are eligible and some are not
Are
eligible. Is that
not
what you're
eligible.
saying?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
and the laws have become more stringent. How relaxed they were earlier. So yes, they have become more stringent. So
We're done being
yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Down to the government being stringent. Okay, so I mean, this is the chart that you gave us. Let's see if I can get this bigger here. That might look a little too big. So why don't you tell us about this chart? What are we looking at here?
This is a chart which will help us. It's a flow chart basically. This will help us to, as we answer the questions, this will help us to be very sure about whether we are ineligible and will let us guide us through and deep dive into the financials or the information if we see that some laws are in our favor and we might be eligible. So this
Okay.
basically this chart simples like it's a questionnaire or a flow chart which helps us to gauge whether we are eligible or may not be. This won't
Okay.
be unless we go into the details like the books, the employees, the wages and PP loans, everything other things keeping there. We have to go through this flow chart, but at the same time we would also need to go through in detail whether we are eligible or not for sure before
So
going ahead and making the changes.
walk us through this flow chart. Where do we start here?
First, we start with number of employees. Like if you have number of employees who are less than 500, 500 or less than 500, W2 employees, not 1099s, not contractors, but to whom we are issuing W2s. So if we have more than 500, even 501, we are ineligible straight.
Well, shoot. Okay, so for everybody, so step one is do you have less 500 or less employees? Okay, so if we meet that, so let's say I've only got 499 employees, what's our next question?
So now, were you in business before 16 Feb 16, 2020?
So this
So
was this was like the starting date when COVID
exactly.
started, really, right? This was all the way back
Right.
then. Okay,
True.
so this is a very common date. I feel like I've seen this even in the original
Original.
legislation that was talking about the 2020 ERC and the 2021 ERC in total.
Correct.
Okay,
So
okay,
now, but here I think the coin changes. If we have, if if you were in business, then we need to move to the next step.
okay.
Yeah. So now, even that, if you were in business, that will prove that you are ineligible. Earlier, we were looking for that we should be in business, but now when we are in business, if we are in business before the COVID hit, then also we are ineligible. You see the chart going yes and then coming down to the ineligible portion. So things have flipped, I would say,
Okay. So this
somewhere.
is like it's almost like a double question here, right? Because it looks like the next
Correct.
question is, are you under 1 million in receipts?
Right. So,
Okay.
like if it's a new business, basically this time in quarter four, the laws are concentrating on new business which were established after COVID hit. And if you are not, and if you're still picking up your business, then you're eligible. The whole quarter four ERC laws comes to that. Like
Okay.
you were in, yeah, you have employees fewer than 500, all W2 employees. You were not in business before COVID hit, that is February 16, 2020, and your turnover or gross receipts is below 1 million. So
And
you
even
might
then,
be, yes,
yeah, as you just said, even then you might be, you may be. I mean, this
yes,
chart, guys, comes from one of our, favorite providers here, Gusto. They're normally really, really on top of the laws, which is fantastic. But even they're saying you might be eligible, right? So
yeah,
we're going to post the link for their entire article. There's a huge blog post, and I'll throw it into the comments down below specifically for this particular video. But yeah, guys, this is a might, maybe might kind of situation here. So, Tanushree, for a lot of people, let me stop the screen share here. For a lot of people, this was a big, bad, scary thing. When we were first working with the ERC, and especially when COVID first hit, everyone was so excited about the government is giving money. We had the PPP loans, then we had the EIDL
yeah,
loans, and then we had these ERC credits. But it really is starting to feel like the government is kind of pulling back here a little bit, saying, "Okay, we've given you a ton of money, like you're kind of good."
yes. So that's, I think I really concur with you. That's the intention of the government, that they have given enough relaxation for the business which were there before COVID hit, and they were actually not concentrating or centralizing their attention on the business which actually started just after COVID, like in COVID.
Yeah,
So they were actually being left out with lots of benefits which were given to the business who were in business. So they could pick up, they were given recovery time, then they were given loans, PP loans were forgiven, EIDL loans were given a good time to repay. But somewhere ERC was a quick cash for lots of like businesses. So this is, and if you see, it is a startup recovery.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So this is something like for startups, it's a kind of a relief if they started with few employees or up to 500, then they can avail this benefit. And they did not, because if they are having 499 employees as per our example, and if their turnover is below 1 million, definitely their profit margin would be less. So it would be a good relief for such kind of a business. Like
And
if they
so,
meet all these three, yeah, and they
yeah,
meet other like areas as well, their books conquer with everything what is needed for this eligibility. So if they
absolutely.
meet with that, then it will be a good relief. I would not say it would be a big relief, but it would be a considerate amount depending on number of employees.
Just going to say better than nothing, better than nothing. I
Exactly.
mean, this is one of the most common things that we're seeing here, guys. These rules are literally changing. I don't want to say every single day, but they change frequently, very frequently, right? This had just come out. And of course, Tax Goddess, we are always trying to stay on top of the newest news for you guys. This was a huge hole. We had a lot of clients that said, well, I started my business on March 1st of 2020. It was just before COVID really started hitting the US very strongly. And they, as Tanushree, as you're saying, they were kind of left out in the cold. So, if we have any listeners out there that are listening to today's little video, certainly, Tanushree is one of the smartest people in Tax Goddess. We are so thrilled to have her on the team. But, if your CPA is not bringing you this kind of information, reach out. Our team at Tax Goddess, we would love to speak with you. Absolutely happy to help. We've got a full team over here at the moment. I think we're at 66 people between bookkeepers and
Yes.
tax preparers, and we've got a lot of knowledge. So if your CPA is not bringing you this information, definitely give us a shout. Reach out to us at taxgoddess.com, or of course you can text message us at 602-362-7939. We'll try and get whatever help you need. So, Tanushree, any wrap up words for our listeners today?
I would say enjoy. Just keep listening to us, keep following us, and please feel free to call us. We are happy to help and
Very good
assist.
point. Do you see that smile, everybody? She's got the best smile ever. How could you not want help from Tanushree? So, thank you very much. Y'all have a great day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone.